Hi, this is your host Abdul Bhartia, and welcome to another episode of TFR Insights. And today we have with us Greg Tucker, Senior Windows Support Engineer at SIOS Technology. Greg, it's great to have you on the show.
Hello.
And today we're going to talk about high availability for the financial services industry. If I ask you, Greg, do you folks have any customers in the financial services industry?
Yes, at SIOS, we have a global presence in the industry with customers using our products to eliminate a single point of failure in their cluster environment. Our customers are in the arenas of commercial banking, various brokerage firms, wealth management, CPA firms, and the like. They all rely on critical applications for their online banking systems, ATMs, and payment systems. Thus, we provide failover clustering software that will protect their critical applications and data from downtime and or a catastrophic event. So let me expound on that briefly. So in essence, the critical applications are deployed on a primary server, whether it be on-prem or in the cloud, as it is clustered with a secondary server or multiple servers. In the event the clustering software detects a failure, it will move all the resources over to the secondary node and restore services to the end users automatically. No data loss, no disruption.
No, thanks for of course explain that. Can you also talk about what kind of applications or use cases you have seen in the banking industry for high availability?
Companies want two things. They want to move their Windows Server failover clustering from on-prem to the cloud, or two, they need an easy way to create a cluster for applications in Linux. We see two common scenarios. One, customers with applications on Windows operating systems who are using Windows Server failover cluster on-prem and want to move to the cloud without any changes. And secondly, customers running applications on, let's say, Red Hat, SUSE, Rahi Linux OS, and they are concerned about the complexity of configuring and managing a clustering environment, particularly in the cloud. Now, with the shift from on-prem to cloud, there is still a need, a business requirement, an SLA to be met, and the like, to protect and make data highly available for your Oracle, SAP, SQL, MaxDB, file shares, and generic applications. And by the way, typically, generic applications consist of legacy applications.
Depending on who you talk to, at times people feel that scalability can be a big challenge for high available environments. For someone, is that true?
Scaling applications and other protected resources can be complicated, but we can overcome this when planning with SIOS as your clustering solution. So yes, it is very true that there is a lot of complexity involved, all of it which exceeds the basic elements of compute, storage, networking, and security, just your basic pillars of your infrastructure. For every node that resides in your cluster, which is typically two or more or two or many, whether they are in the same availability zone or if they are geographically dispersed, the complexity will always reside in planning. Three things. Can your infrastructure scale to meet demand? Secondly, reliability, and last, flexibility. This is where a SIOS solution can provide high performance and configuration flexibility in your Windows Server failover clustering and Linux clustered environments. With a SIOS solution, you can create a enterprise class, highly available cluster.
Of course, thanks for explaining the chemistry between scalability and the challenges for HA. Now, what are the common misconceptions about high availability, especially in the financial service industry?
That is true about the misconception that if your resources reside in the cloud, that you're protected from an unlikely event. This is where clustering your applications and protecting them with a SIOS solution will create high availability. Financial institutions will use a cloud technology for their test and dev environment. Most large financial institutions have prem-to-prem, prem-to-hybrid, and or an all-in cloud infrastructure, as they have the bandwidth to accommodate these configurations. But with so much on the line and so many stakeholders involved, Chief technical officers or chief information officers have a tendency to be somewhat conservative, thus relying heavily on their mainframes. They have rarely committed to an all-in cloud environment because of control, but they need high availability regardless.
When I listen to you and I look at all the challenges that they face, talk a bit about can SIOS kind of protect their resources, and if yes, how?
Yes. So with a SIOS solution, we can provide the flexibility, reliability, and scalability to meet all of the financial services companies' needs.
Can you also talk about what is the importance, why banks of financial industry need high availability?
Banks have historically put applications on mainframes, but more and more are running important apps on servers and in the cloud where they need HA.
Greg, thank you so much for taking time out today and talk about the importance of high availability for the financial service industry, and also kind of share the insight that you have and how SIOS kind of helps them protect their resources. And I would love to have you back on the show to talk about another topic. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.